Okay, hi. So I'm back online. Well, I'm doing video because I have some story to tell. So I don't know if anybody out there is still alive. I'm sure there is. When the 49er won the Super Bowl five five times straight, and the Dallas Cowboy was their rival. The reason why I brought that up because I'm looking to see if anybody's still alive that was playing in the NFL or coaching or know the owner of the NFL family. I'm sure there is. So remember when Joe Montana got hurt and the second quarterback standby was Steve Young. And so Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, they were like, they played good together. And then there was Washington or something. George Bush. Anybody know George Bush? I think that's his name. It was a black guy. Um, Dean. I can't think of his name. Ah, God. D. It starts with a D. D. Dean or something. I remember I ran into him in LA during my son's recruiting. And I stopped, and then I noticed him, and then I don't know what happened to him. He just, but here's a former NFL player for 49ers. I ran into him. I noticed him because I was a teenager when they were hot, like they were the team. Um, so my son had the Nike recruiters. They were there were some NFL pro players that were at the Nike, and I noticed a lot of the guys there. They were coaching, and they were like coaching the the Nike boys. That was that they were recruiting for college to give them scholarship. So I was there with my son and my baby. Yeah. So we were just chilling and shit. And then I was gonna go talk to them, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then to catch up, like, "Oh wow, so this is what you guys do?" Like, but I was busy. It was hella hot, so I was just chilling, just just chilling, watching my son. Um, but I was like, "Dang." Um, so the reason why I brought this up because okay, I back in the you guys had one of the Super Bowl or playoff. You guys did play a lot in the what's Golden Gate? No, Golden Gate. Well, yeah, Golden Gate right there, the Rock, the stadium, San Francisco Stadium, the football stadium. That's where the NFL, the 49ers, they were big time. Um, and they their rival was Dallas, Dallas Cowboys, the best. I mean, it was a rival, but it was the best time. It was the best time for the NFL to bring in the money, bring in the dough, because the rival was like just everyone is partying. We're just gonna party, 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 party. It's like a whole week thing. Like there are people outside selling 49er gear, Dallas gear. It's just good time. American football history. And then after that 5 year, um, the that kid from BYU, was it Steve Young? He was a bench, like a, he wasn't nobody. When I've never heard of him, I never heard anyone talking about Joe Montana having a quarterback on the standby, because Joe Montana, he was hot. Like, and then they brought in this kid, BYU, Steve Young. And then during the football season, um, Steve Young and Joe Jerry Rice wasn't. I mean, he was catchable. The football was catchable, but um, Joe Montana was not able to throw the ball. Like, what's is going on? And they brought in some new players, and but it's still a good time. Like, fuck, 5 years, let the boys rest. So, because Joe Montana, he was like, he played. So, for some reason, Joe Montana got hurt, or something happened with Joe Montana. Or maybe he wasn't happy or something, and so he wasn't playing the way he should be playing, or some. Maybe they had beef together with with Jerry Rice and Dion, the guy that I ran into at the LA Nike when my 2000, I want to say 2013, when they did the Nike. So I remember Dion. He, like, my son was like running, and like he was the best. And he said something to Jeremiah. Like, he looked at Jeremiah and was like, that's it. That's the next one. And then and I was sitting on the cement. I was feeding I don't know, I was just checking out the guy, checking out my son. And then he looked at me, it caught my eye, and then that's it. That's all I remember about Dion. Dion. And I was like, and I never saw that guy anymore. I was like, what's it? And then he had some issue. He had some beef with the fuckers, the NFL fuckers. They were talking hella shit. I don't know. The reason why I brought that up, because, hey brother, the reason why, because the fucking Mormon, well, my son, Jeremiah was my son, and I'm from the Bay Area. I hung out with you guys. The Mormons know that. And let me tell you about Steve Young. He was a little perv. Steve Young is a little pervert. They're psycho because they're Mormon. They used to live in San Bruno. They did hella shit, so they had to uh, move to Salt Lake City, and I think they lived around here in this little shit town, Erkin, Washington County. The reason why I know this is because when I moved here from San Francisco, from Hayward, in 2009, when I moved here with my kids, um, I associate with one of the Mormon ladies. Her name is Carrie. Carrie, gosh, I can't think of Carrie. Married to a She's married to a eye doctor here in Hurricane, and he's a tall Mormon manipulator. So Carrie, we had a get together and stuff, and we were playing games and stuff, tell secret about each other. That's what we do as Relief Society sister. We just get together and laugh and talk shit. So she shared her most secret, and I think she was still in love with this guy. He's a football player, Steve Young. And I'm like, I don't think she knew that I was, because I was new in town. So I don't think she knew I'm from the Bay Area or San Francisco, or yeah, from the Bay Area, because we moved from Hayward, the East Side, and then and so my husband, he would be like, he's Samoan, and I'm Tongan, and that's it. They knew, and I have 6 kids, and so we had a barbecue, and she was, I was like, "What's your most secret thing?" I was like, "I met my husband at the bar, because we're Mormon, we're supposed to be goody goody, right?" And then and she was like, her most secret thing is that she dated Steve Young. And I was like, Steve Young, is the football player, 49er? I said, yeah. She was talking about him like he's a hot shot, right? I was like, that nigga ain't shit. I don't think he won any fucking ring. Like, but she was talking about him like he's a big hot shot, right? I was like, you're married, you're him, girl. You married that guy. He's a dentist. He's he's the it. Yeah. Are you still in love with Steve Young? And she talked about it like she was still in love with him. And I was like, and I think Steve Young raped her because she said something about Steve Young was supposed to pick her up. What? They went out on a date. Now I remember. She dated Steve Young. They were dating. And then she mentioned something about Steve Young drug date her because he's Mormon and he went to BYU. So, and she had her older daughter. She's a beautiful woman, beautiful girl. And then I think she was pregnant from him. So I don't think she's still, I haven't seen her. I think she's probably dead. But she was a beautiful girl. And I think the Mormon over here, they all work together. And even, okay, so now that I'm done with that, I'm not going to focus on Steve Young. Because, guys, Steve Young, he ain't shit. He is nobody. So, but they did toxic the 49er team because they're Mormon when he went to play for the 49er. he toxic a lot of because he's psycho. They're Mormon, KK, they're haters, they're American haters, and they're from Canada. And then so, and then shit happened when Steve Young started playing for the 49ers. Hella shit happened. Like something happened to the owner, something happened to OJ Simpson. It was just, and then the the earthquake, and they were uh, anyhow. I lost all my friends. Everybody became bankrupt. I was like, the fuck? What is wrong with our 40? What is wrong with our American player? They set him up because they're cartel. Um, also, I think it's because they recognize me. I was around. I was all over the place. San Francisco, back and forth, San Carlos, Santa Cruz, and they remember. They probably thought they confused me to a point where I will not remember. But I remember Steve Young. I think he had a sister that had a back problem, and I believe we went to Pacific Heights together. And they're haters, and they're racist, and they did a lot of bad things to kids in San Bruno. And there's a shack right there, and the church is up the street, and there's a shack at in San Bruno, Smith Lane. If you take Smith Lane all the way to Skyline College, the back road, and to the right, there's a shack. I think they build houses there now, but back then in the 80s, it was just a dirt mountain, and then down the hill is dirt road. I mean, dirt. And then there's a shack down underground. And I remember because I was down there and I saved myself. And me and my friends, I don't know what happened to my friends, but all I can remember is that I was able to climb up the shack. I climbed up the shack and I walked home. So I got away because I'm Tongan, I'm smart. I was from the island. So and then I walked and I started talking about it. And then we got kicked out from that house. And I do remember they would prep my siblings and my neighbors. They would prep us, and they would do nasty things. They would molest us and shit. And they were Mormon, and there were also like Tongan Mormons, men and women, and men and women. So that I remember. I was very young. I say, I think I was like 8 because I was in kindergarten or third grade. I was 8. And then that's all I remember. Then then my auntie they poisoned my auntie. My auntie used to be Mormon, but she left the church. And then we moved over there with my uncle, John Silva. And then they recognized us there. And then they got rid of John Silva. They probably murdered him. So anyway, that's when you're 8. It's just vaguely memories in there. So And then so they left to because I was talking. You know, the kids, we talk. We whack, 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 whack. And I was telling one of my neighbors, like, there's a shack down there. Let's go play. Because we were kids. But I remember there was like magazine. There was magazine all over the wall. And I remember there was a Budweiser um, poster. And there was stairs. And there would be I just remember a Budweiser poster, and then there was the stairs, and I climb up the stairs, and I look around, and I ran home because my home was up the hill. and then I, and then I never, and then I hear my friend Kevin, my Kevin, it went missing, and her sister, I think her sister was still alive, or maybe her parents killed her. I have no idea, but the whole some neighbors, they took part of it. But they didn't have too many black people. They didn't fuck with black kids. They only fucked with us because we were beautiful. My sibling, my sisters, and my first cousin Tiana, we were all beautiful girls because we're from the island, and we were just golden gorgeous. And my brothers were just beautiful, bone structure. My mom, she was gorgeous, beautiful lady, and my dad, he was a stud. And she's my auntie's half Gussie. She was beautiful, white, fair lady, beautiful black hair, and she married John. He was a trader, like he trades stuff, and he's a businessman, and he worked at Stanford. So he was not a trader. He was a good man because he loved my auntie. He spoiled my auntie. He would spoil the fuck out of her. She would travel back and forth to bring her family, like she'd bring us here, and he would do anything for her. He he would I remember he would he bought us a house. That's how much he cares about my aunt, and he cared about my aunt's brother and kids, because he looked at us. We were beautiful, like, wow, you guys are, you're beautiful people. And he welcomed us, and he was putting his money to invest in us and shit. And then he got killed. He got murdered. And the reason why I say this, because he's not a pervert, he would have Playboy magazine in his mattress. And that's pretty normal for an American guy. Like, jack off. When my auntie's traveling to the island, because he loved me, he didn't cheat on my aunt, because my auntie was just a beautiful woman, and she helped him. She helped John Silva, like, to go to college, to go to Stanford and study. They were supporting each other, and they were growing. And he couldn't have any kids, so he adopted us, beautiful people from the island of Tonga. And the next people that he was going to help to bring to America was my grandparents, was their grandparents, was my grandma and my grandpa. That was the next goal for them to do. But they weren't ready. They had business and affair in the island of Tonga. They had a bakery, and they had property that they had to take care of, and business and stuff, because they owned that land. So that's all I can remember with what they were doing. And John Silver, he was like, he was he was very supportive, and he helped my auntie leave the fucking church, and they helped each other. And my auntie was healthy, beautiful, fair woman, and John Silver, he was a tall, sexy, bald-headed man with a cute smile. And my auntie would like allow him to have a cave house, like a caveman house, because he knows you do your thing over there. And my family would stay here, and you go, okay, honey. And they were just, that's all I can remember about that. And then something happened to him. He went to Stanford, and and I remember I was like, "Where's the Falangi guy?" Because you're a kid. We had to move out, right? He never showed up. I was lied to that he left my auntie. But then, why would my uncle leave my auntie and just leave all his belongings in the room? And it wasn't his room, it was our garage. It had his stuff there, his his box of stuff. And he never came back home. So he probably got murdered, or he probably got like got beat, and to forget his memory, and for him, because he's a genius, to forget his family and to have another new family. Or they probably say, or I'm thinking, oh, your wife went to Tonga and she left you for another man. So he what do I do now? I have to move on. So there's that. But he left all his belonging. He never came to pick up his belongings. And then my poor auntie was paralyzed, and she was heartbroken. Like, where's my husband? I was like, your husband just left with another woman. That's some bullshit. Hold on, I'm making a video. What? Hey, I will talk to you later, okay? Oh, you found the remote? Oh, he's looking. Everyone's home now. I only see on Quando Anoma and Isaac, I think. Who's here? I want to know who's here. Quando? The kids like Isaac. Where's your other son? You dropped off at Dixie. Huh? Oh, he's not answering. So anyhow, and that's what I can remember. So bring that up with the 49ers. So I am like, so I'm just curious, does anybody out there remember anything or can recall of anything that have happened in their childhood that they can share? Maybe it will all make sense to why everybody's ugly and why the Super Bowl is high school super kio aikai KK cartel, Or do you want me to keep it down? Oh, I'm making a video to send to my 49ers because so 49ers guys, and we're all 49er fan in the Bay Area, right? Because we're all 49er fan in the Bay Area, from San Jose to the West Coast. We're all 49er fans. So use your big head and try to remember, and then talk about it. Why everybody played like they're playing fucking rugby. And you know that game? You know the game, the horse, where you play that in the British. It's a game. You ride the horse and you hit the golf, and you try to it's almost like golf. No, hockey. It's hockey, but on the grass, and you're riding horses. That's what is almost like the games here.